Hey everybody, I do not own the rights to this music. Hey everybody, hi, I do not own the rights to this music. Get in here, get in here. Get in here this morning. Got something I want to talk about. I'm going to give y'all time to get in this morning. I'm going to give y'all time to get in so we can get started. Got something I want to say today. I want to talk about what you make it.
When you're feeling down,
You should never fake it.
say what's
On your mind
and you'll find
in time.
that all the negative energy it will all see, and you'll be at peace with yourself. You won't really need no one else except for the man above. Yeah. Because if you
My life, my life, my
if you
life.
look into my life,
If you look in my life to see what I see.
oh, you will see I'm so if you look in my life, now I don't know what to do or say. If you look in my life, see what I see. If you look into my life, see what I see. Take your time, baby, don't you rush a thing.
Come on, y'all, let's
Don't
get
you
it.
know I
This
know
Malika Church, you know what it is. This Sunday we vibing. Hey. But I still got something to talk about. You know, I ain't bring you here for nothing, right? Got a subject.
Just believe cause he'll give you peace.
So I'm trying to just give y'all some time.
Yes, he would.
Because I got a lot to
And
say
you
today.
will see the sunshine for real. Yes, you would. And you'll get to free your mind. And things will turn out fine. Oh, I know that things will turn out fine. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. If you look in my life and see what I see. If you look in my life and see what I see. All you got to do is if you look in my life, take your time, one day at a time. It's all on you what you're gonna do. If you look in my life and see what I see. If you look in my life and see what I see.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Okay, that was my jam. And I played that for a specific reason. And I just love the fact that she says, if you look at my life and see what I see. So I'm on here this morning. I am being very vulnerable because I'm in a very, very vulnerable position. That really helped me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a very, very vulnerable position. And, you know, it just helped me to share. And also, I told everybody, to meet me here at 11:30. So I'm like, why isn't anybody jumping on? Okay. I forgot I said 11:30, right? But anyway, I'll just, you know, give some background context for everyone who does not know me. My name is Malika L. Anderson, and I am a serial entrepreneur of 25 businesses plus since 1992. I'm also an author of 33 books, most of them which are ebooks, 4 or 5 of them which are published on Amazon. I am a children's book author. My children's book is about to hit the scene. I am the owner of a natural and organics company. I'm a keynote speaker. I'm a women's advocate. I'm a global lupus advocate. There is so much that I do in this community. But my greatest accomplishment is I am a mother and a grandmother. I'm a mother, right, to two girls, and I'm a grandmother to two girls, but I have been raising up an army of girls and women since as long as I can remember. That is what I am called to do. That is what I am commissioned to do, and I have never detoured from that purpose. I've always been living and doing that purpose no matter the circumstances. And today, I just kind of wanted to talk about trauma and depression because they kind of go in together, and I'll tell you why I wanted to talk about that. But I wanted to know if you are acting out, right? Hold on, I just want to, because I want to make sure that I say the right thing. I had it written down. If you are acting out of your trauma responses and giving you some awareness and some context around that, I realize that I am acting a lot out of my trauma responses, which is based in fear. That is the root of it. It is based in fear. And so a lot of it comes from that. And a lot of things happened this week that kind of brought me to this place. So gather around story time with Malika. Now, first, what I want to say before we get into all of that is I'm getting my YouTube page back popping. All right. I always had a YouTube page. For anybody who knows the story, I always had a YouTube page. I am very involved with, doing a lot of things with women. And one of the projects that I do is very serious, working with sex and human trafficking of women. And so I was basically following a cult and trying to rescue these women out of this particular cult for many, many years. And so I was on YouTube, and a lot of trolls and negative energy came with that, and I had almost 4,000 subscribers on there, which is not a lot, in the YouTube world. And so I got rid of that page, and I started a Malika Speaks TV page some years ago. But it never really got up and going the way that I wanted it to. I had like some of my old videos on there, and I did a few new ones, but I really feel like that is the direction that I want to go back in. That is the platform that I want to get back on, even this video today. So I thought that this would be a good start to that, and I need you all to subscribe. I need you all to subscribe. Hold on, let me see if I can put it in here. Let me go to the comments. All right, wait, refresh the comments. Okay, they're refreshing. The comments are refreshing. So I want to put that YouTube, I'm going to put it in the top too, so that you can go there and click and subscribe. Now, I can't go live on there until I got 1,000 people. So we need to get 1,000 strong so we can go live up there. But I can do like pre-recorded video up there. So I'm very excited about that. I refreshed you guys' comments. Hold on. Control V. Oops. No, it's not going to come in here like that. I got to, I'll put it in after y'all because I don't want to get distracted. I want to stay where we are. So I see that there's one in the building. Hopefully it's Aaron. If it's you, Aaron, let me know. Okay? And we're going to get into this depression and trauma responses. But it's not like you think. See, a lot of people don't jump on because they think, oh, this is going to be heavy. And, well, it is Sunday morning. And I just figured if you're not going to church this morning or to any organization this morning or doing anything this way. The girl with the afro, I love these. These are a pair of my favorite. That, you see, I wear like a lot of wooden earrings and stuff like that. I'm just kind of like a natural girl like that. But none of our stuff is stuffy and boring and whatever. It's all relatable to you, to the person, and is going to help us figure this thing out. So why not start with story time? Gather around, y'all. Gather around. Now I got the blinds, the baby sleep. Got the blinds kind of drawn. So check this out. This week, and it's not, it's a serious matter. I lost two people. One was, both of them were like little cousins. And one of them was found shot in New Jersey in a car with another person. And another one was found in a lake. with her 9-month-old baby. And so this was the beginning of the week. And it sent me into a shock. First, I was shocked. Then I was numb. Then it was like sadness. Then it turned into depression. And then it anger. So it spiraled into many different emotions. And something else happened to me this week. I'm in the process of moving very quickly. And it's kind of overwhelming. And just dealing with all of the in and outs of that. And then just life's many things. And then in the midst of that, I'm coming up on 10 years, which is February 12th, that I will have been doing dialysis. So let me see if I can give you some context for this. I was 30-something. I was newly divorced. I was just finding my grounding, getting on my feet, starting my life over. And I got very, very sick. The love of my life, my maternal figure, which was my maternal grandmother, was getting very, very sick near the end, and she was dying. And I kind of only had about like 14 days to process from A to where I'm telling you. And it seemed like after the day that we put her in the ground, I was able to hold it up, until then. And the day that we put her in the ground, I started getting very, very deathly sick and not understanding and not knowing what was happening to me. And it was like I was fine and then I wasn't. Boom, the bottom of my life fell out. And now I was in a whole new context of learning how to live with this new diagnosis, with this, all of this anxiousness and fearfulness and uncertainty, because it was very scary in the beginning. I didn't know what would happen. I just thought that I would die, like every day, all day. I'm laughing now, but at the time, it was not a laughing matter. And so, after traumatic experience, after traumatic experience, after traumatic experience, after traumatic experience, I found myself being numb to traumatic experiences. It was like I could feel it, but I couldn't feel it, because I spent so much time and so many years coping. You understand what I mean? I spent so much time with coping mechanisms so that I could move on to the next stage or place, whether it be in my life, in my illness, in my personal life, in my relationships, that trauma became almost normal to me. I started giving it a sense of normalcy, which made me numb to it. And so fast forward up into all of these things that happened this week, and I kind of like hit a wall. Now, no tears came. I wasn't crying, but I was very frustrated inside, and I found myself in an anger response, which is a trauma response. And I was like, no, I'm not depressed. I kept telling myself, no, I'm not depressed. All the time knowing I was depressed. I was depressed. I can say it I was depressed. I am. How about I am? Forget it. I just, for the sake of today, I am. I wasn't feeling myself. I've been feeling down all week. Your girl just ain't been feeling it. And it's like, it's true. Like, people never check on the strong ones because they're like, oh, girl, she's strong. She gonna be all right. She'll go through it just like she's going through everything else. She'll make it through that. And although it might be true, we find that sometimes we get to these places where we don't have solutions. I mean, it was just a place where I'm like, okay, creator, okay, divine one, okay, ancestors. I don't have solutions. I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to turn. I don't know how this is going to work out. And by the way, I don't like the whole situation at all. I don't like that I'm not in control of it, that I can't control it, that I can't hold it together. I don't like that I'm at this place again in life. Why do I keep ending up in this place? And then you get into the self-hate and the self-criticism and all of that, and it's not good. So I'm talking about my own trauma today to give you some context, right? And how, based off of my depression, that I'm having all of these trauma responses. Irritability. Yeah, I probably went off on a couple of y'all this week. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm just going through something. Now, the people who are smart enough, or I'm not going to say smart enough, that's wrong. The people who are discerning enough to know it, they did a little check. Hey, sis, you okay? You all right? The other ones who are with me, they're patient with me, but it's just some people who just miss it, and that's okay too. So I'm learning that it's not always that we need someone to pull us out of something. Sometimes we have to pull ourselves out of something, or we have to be still long enough to allow the Creator to give us the time and space we need to heal so that we can come out of something. Am I making any sense? So I had a little couple of moments in between. Mind you, I'm the strong girl. I'm up here preaching, prophesying, declaring, decreeing, affirming, doing all of that. All the while I'm sinking deeper and deeper into what I call Aaron, Alice in Wonderland. I'm going around the mulberry bush, and I'm really crying out, but I don't know how to just, because I've been doing it so long on my own. I've been so independent for so long. I've been so having to be strong for so long on my own that I'm realizing I really don't know how to do it any other way. It's difficult for me to do it. It's difficult for me to say it's vulnerable. If I start crying, forgive me. I'm a water sign. I'm emotional. You know how that goes, right? I'm not blaming it on my astrology. I'm just saying this is where I am now, right? So it's difficult for me to say, I need help. Can I? It's even, I feel funny even saying, like I'll call somebody and they'll start talking about their stuff. And I'll start listening all the while. I'm like, would you please listen to me? Or I have something to say to you. Or I'm going through something too, But it's just people don't tend to think that, And dealing with these many diseases that are triggering every day. So that was another thing this week. So we lost another person, and if you are in dialysis, you know how that feels. Like you have friends in January, by June, half of them are gone. And, it can be triggering because you're always thinking, am I next? You know what I mean? This circle is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm going to be right back. I hate to do this, but hey, it's life. My baby's crying. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, Mama? Okay, y'all. I'm back. That's Noni. On grandma duty all the time, which is a great thing for me because I was like in a very, very dark place before Aaliyah and Ava was born. And so, yeah, that has been, marvelous for me. But, we still deal with the shadows of things that have happened in our lives, all of the traumas. I'm just happen to be a person that has experienced a lot of difficulty in life. And most of the time I can deal with it. And it's just like, just this last week with hearing about the young girls, because I'm called to young girls. So I have a special affinity. I have a special affection. And both of those girls who just transitioned were young. Were young. One was only 18. And the other one, I believe she was 26. And that just really, it just hit different, And so I'm just, here you go, baby. So I'm just dealing with a lot over here. And yes, I'm going to get through it. But they say it's always better to talk about it. So I thought that I did reach for a lifeline. Erin is on here. She could testify. So I did reach for a lifeline today. I was like, okay, I got to reach for a lifeline. Because sometimes your family, your kids, the people who are there with you all the time, whoever it might be, in your support system, they are familiar with you. They see you all the time. They deal with you all the time. So it's like, oh, okay, it's just that. They don't realize to the detriment, right? But see, I always say that we can't have to always create awareness around us. Like I know what triggers me. I know when I need a lifeline. I know where I'm, okay, Malika, you going too far now. You got to call somebody. Something has to happen, And little things have happened. I'm not saying it was a terrible week. I'm saying I just was very triggered by what happened, and it just brought me to a space and a place that I don't really like being at. You know, I'm not a negative person. I don't hold negative light very well. I like to be upbeat and positive and things like this. And then another thing, look, y'all, I'm ready. Yeah, I got tears, but I got tissue too, tissue and tears. So another thing that was very triggering that y'all saw in the news was our one of our queens, Regina King. Here, baby, here you go, sweetheart. Her son had also transitioned by suicide, and you know, it got me again to thinking. You know, you never know where people are in their lives. You can be thinking everything is great with them, and it's just not. You know what I'm saying? And not that I'm there. I'm not sending out any signals like that. Like, I'm not there, but I have been there. I've been there many times. I'm just feeling a little down. You know what I'm saying? A little low, like up but low. You understand me? So anyway, yeah. So I saw that, and you know, my heart was breaking for the queen, just as a mother, and just as what her and her family would have to, you know, partake in going through that. And so that's what brought me to the subject. And then my uncle, he was going to talk about. I don't know if he did. Yeah, he was going to talk about depression, and I was like, okay, this is really. I see now that the universe is speaking to me, so I definitely need to talk about trauma and to talk about our trauma responses, because a lot of us are what I call acting out. We're acting up, but we're acting out. But it's only based, you know, it's a trauma response to something that is going on, you know, in our lives, that we either feel stuck or we feel like we can't move forward. I was feeling like that. Like, why? I was feeling why do I always get stuck here? Like, this is the same scenario, a different day. You know, what I was going through, a different year. Like, what is the problem? Am I not passing the test? And just so mad at myself. I was like, I don't have nobody to blame. This is kind of, you know, my fault. And I'm going through I'm almost 50. And like, I'm 50 years old. I can't be going through this you know, like, I'm too old basically to be going through this. So I think the best way to kind of communicate with people, and also since this is going to be on YouTube, to kind of communicate with people and to talk to people is through your own experiences. I don't like to talk at people. I like to talk to people, right? So that's what we're doing today. Let me see. Jasmine is in the building. Hello, Buki. All of y'all who are part of my Yellow Hearts gang. Y'all get some Yellow Hearts up in the building. Get the energy, run defense, do whatever we need to do in here. And I'm going to see if I can bring Erin on. Uh-oh, Erin. How do you request it? Or how do I request her? I want to bring somebody in. Oh, we can open this up. We're already 22 minutes in. Oh, Keisha says she's so happy that I'm sharing this. Thank you. Angela Anderson said, numb to reality, I can identify. Thank you so much, y'all. But now I know there's somebody out here that can identify with what I'm saying today, because we all go through it. We may not want to admit it. I didn't want to admit it. I was like, like, I am the type of person, I like to grieve solely in private. I don't like people around when I'm crying, when I'm going through whatever. Even if I am going through, I'm not even going to deal with you. I'm going to wait till I'm on a better note, in a better place, before I deal with you. I call you back, before I put energy into, you know, a consultation, before I make products. I'm just like that. So I know that there are other people out there like that too. Okay, let me find out how I want to bring Erin in. I think right here. Let me see. Remove, suspended. Oh my goodness. Erin, I didn't think this all the way through. Okay, I'm not on my phone. I know how to do it on my phone. Can you request to be in? Can you hear me, Erin? Can you request to be in? And then maybe I can let you in? If anybody knows how to do it, tell me. How do I add a person in who wants to come in? I'm on my computer though. I didn't think it all the way through, because I was like crying and trying to get dressed and going, I don't want to do this, and just fighting with myself before. So I know how to do it on my phone, but I don't know how to do it on the computer. So if anybody knows, tell me. Booker, you know? Tell Mimi how to do it. If not, um, if not, then okay, that's my sign. Then if not, I'm clicking on my picture. You all right? Okay, let me just try one more thing, y'all. Okay, remove. I don't understand. I don't understand, and I don't really want to understand. I don't even want to take the time to do it. It's okay, Aaron. If you get your mama, or if you buy anybody who can help you, please just we'll do it somehow to add you in. Because unfortunately, I didn't do it on my phone. I'm on my computer. But anyway, y'all, yeah. So trauma, and then I also want to talk about depression being clinical and seasonal. I know you don't want to come up here, ma'am. No. I'm sorry. No. Would you like a banana? You want a cracker? This is my real life. And that's what I love about it. Like I'm not a fake ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like my granddaughter needs attended to, I'm gonna stop and do it. Alright? Okay, that's that. Here, Buka. Here you go, baby. Cracker. Here, go sit at your table. Mimi be done in a minute. I know you love to do this. Yes. So with seasonal depression, that is, I would get that a lot when I lived up north. You know, in the colder places where you're locked in, you got cabin fever, you can't get out. Oh my gosh. It used to be so terrible for me because, like, I like to be out, you know? And especially before this illness, like, I really, really want to be out. So some people suffer with these seasonal, just times that depression will come upon them. Or then every now and then there's that type of depression. But then there is clinical depression, guys. And so I wanted to get a little bit into that today. Let me just make my disclaimer that I am not a doctor in any shape or form. I am not giving you any medical advice. For all medical advice, please seek your care providers and your medical professionals for that. I am just on here sharing information and education. But a lot of us are clinically depressed, where it's going beyond just a few days. It's going beyond just a season. And you need a little help. But a lot of us are ashamed, We're ashamed to say that we're depressed, or we suffer with anxiety, or we have any type of mental illness. And we dang sure ain't going to say we need some medicine, or, we need, because, oh no, especially us as colored people. Brown and black people in America, which we have more reasons than anyone that I could think of that to really suffer with, depression, with all the trauma that we go through on a day-to-day basis, just living in America. You know what I'm saying, right? So we really have to be cognizant of that, and we have to be careful of that too. Because we're like, oh, so many people you don't know that I talk to say, oh, it's going to go away. And then I talk to them 6 months later, and they're still talking about the same thing. They're still in the same place. They think that somehow they can pull themselves out of this, and, they can just be better, and, that it's just going to get better. And when it's not getting better and you can't pull yourself out of it and there's nothing else that you can do, you have to seek help. Now, listen, I know a lot of you are private like me. You don't want everybody to know, or whatever it is. There are so many outlets now that you can go online. You can do these things in private. There's help. There's resources. If you should need that, or that's something that, you want more information about, you can always reach out to me, and I can help you on a different level and get you connected to what you need to get connected to. Another thing in terms of depression that I know that I do, right, to help me is you got to pick up your vibration. Now, if you're sick and you really can't pick up your vibration on your own, like, there's a lot of things that go on, like chemical imbalances. Chemical imbalances, something's not in balance. And sometimes you need a little medication to help you get it in balance. Sometimes, I don't know if you know this, but some of the medications that you take keep you out of balance, right? Like, I found out early in the game when I first was diagnosed with high blood pressure, hypertension, which I never had before. It came as a result of the lupus and the kidney failure. And so now I ended up having, hypertension. But one of the medications that they had me on stripped away what they called the happy cells, right? And I was like, why do I feel like it was making me depressed? I was thinking down and down and down and down. And come to find out, it was one of the medicines that I was taking that was not allowing my happy cells, you know, my serotonin and my dopamine and all of those things that we need, endorphins, to be released, wasn't allowing them to release. And see, I didn't know. I wasn't educated at that time. You know, I wasn't my own best advocate at that time. So that could be something. A lot of blood pressure medicines do that to people. They do that. They put you in a state of having a low libido. So these are things that you can be aware of. Also, your diet. If you're not eating the right things, and by diet, I don't just mean what you're ingesting. I mean what you're watching, your eye diet, your ear diet, what you're ingesting. All of these things have, like some of the music has low vibrational tones, and it'll just take you to a place. You know what I mean? You'd be like, why am I feeling like this? It's the music. It's the song that you just listened to. Or why am I feeling like this? Or now I feel like I want to get in a drama or fight people, or I'm depressed. It's what you're watching. So your diet consists of a big thing, not just what you ingest into your body. Now, as far as what's, you know, I'm big on that, right? What you ingest into your body can keep you at a low vibration, a low frequency. So I make sure when I'm triggered and when I'm feeling like this, that I do things to pick me up. Like, for instance, one of the things I do a lot of citrus. If you got some old lemons, say they're going bad, or some old limes, you cut them up, you put them on the stove, you boil them, or you just shave it off, the zest of a lemon or a lime or an orange. Those things will uplift your spirits. If you have a diffuser, I do a lot of citrus in my diffuser. If you have anxiety, using chamomile, you can bust open a chamomile tea bag. You can use live fresh lavender. I have some over here that you can boil as a tea. Hibiscus will do the same thing. These things, you can do hibiscus and I do ginger, I do lemon, I do orange. These things will pick up your spirit. Okay, somebody was texting me. Sorry about that. So these are some of the things that you can do to help you. You know, if you're experiencing any depression or, you know, whatever it is you are feeling, anxiety, lots of things, just your mental state is not right. These are some of just the regular things you can do. 1, 2, 3 simple things. I do a lot of juicing. I'm actually going on a juice cleansing, a juice protocol that we are doing in my community. I speak affirmations, February, some of that. Do things that make you happy, that bring you joy. Although I know I say my grandbabies get on my nerves, I love them, right? And sometimes I just have to stop, and I'll be like, Malika, you doing too much. Just the baby be just all in my face trying to get my attention, smacking me, you know, and I'll be like, oh, she just wants to hug, and then she'll just come and she'll just hug me, and I'll be like, I just, you know, I have to take it in, I have to absorb it, I have to just be present in the moment. A lot of what we suffer is just that our, yes, you. Just her little laugh, it makes me happy. It brings me joy. She knows that. You. We talking about you. Another thing I do, let me see if I can reach over here and get it. One product I'm working with. Okay. Girl, hush. Is this. This is my bath potion that we make. This is actually called Higher, and it will definitely raise your frequency higher. It has over 18 herbs, roots, salts in it for your body that will detox you, that will bring you to a higher vibration, that will cleanse you, that will replenish you. And of course, y'all know, if y'all know my other business, I sell these for $25. This is the best one yet. I've sold over just January 100 of them already. I only made 150 of them. So I was like, when they're going, they're going. I really made them as a manifest, to manifest your desires for the new year. So if anybody wants that, I also do a self-love one that I use specifically just for self-love. This is another different blend. I just wanted to show it to you. It's not a shameless plug. This is what I do, and you know how I share my gift with the world. So this one is specifically for self-love, to help you just to be in tune with your body, to bring yourself some self-love and some self-joy. And so these are two things that I do. I'm going to be doing higher today because I just really feel like I need to, refresh my vibration today, to restart it. So that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about today. Yoga. Yoga's a really big thing. Yoga really helped me. Yoga, Tai Chi, anything relaxing. I do a form of yoga that's called gentle yoga or restorative yoga, and it just really helps me to get in tune with my body, and it's very gentle. Because unfortunately, because I have the lupus, I get very, very sore. Like if you just hug me too tight, like it hurts. You know what I'm saying? If I just bump into something, it will bruise. So I have to be very, very gentle and very, very kind with my body. That's something that I'm beginning to do. When I say beginning, I mean like 10 years beginning to do. Like I wasn't doing it before in my life, but I'm starting to really understand what being kind and being compassionate with yourself and being what oneself is. So that's some of the things that we can do. Let me see. I want to go to you guys' comments, see if anybody is making any comments. I don't see any, but I know that y'all will be. Okay, Keisha. She says, I've been diagnosed with SAD as well. Okay, so Keisha, you understand. Oh, the pray it away, folks. Thank you for bringing that up. I want to talk about the pray it away, folks. Somebody said, yes, we must guard our ear and eye gates. I need the bath potion. Is it good for foot baths? Yes, it's good for your entire body. You can use it for a foot bath. It has pink Himalayan salt in it. It has Dead Sea salt in it. It has lavender Epsom salt in it, regular Epsom salt in it. So you can take it to the bridge along with the other herbs that it has in it. Keisha, just hit my DM and they go out every day. Now, if you want the higher potion, I'm looking right now. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. Matter of fact, 2 sold last night. So 1, 2, 3, about 7 left. So if you really, really want that, get with me today. You can cash at me. Aaliyah? I feel like you're drinking my coffee. Come on, bring it to Mimi. You're doing something. I'm going to get over here because she's always doing something. When I'm doing something, you know how little kids are. Anyway, okay, so that is that. Let's see. They bring so much joy. Yes, little people do. I'll tell you a story about them one day. So anyway, what was we talking about, y'all? Oh, the prayed away people. Okay, for the prayed away people, now we understand that people have, now I'm spiritual. I'm not in any type of organized religion anymore. I was. 4 decades strong, I came through that. And I'm not knocking that if that is what you do, if you're in any type of organized religion, but I don't participate in it. I am more in a universal system. If that makes any sense. But I'm not on here to talk about that. So I'm a very spiritual person. I do spiritual work. I'm in a spiritual community. I am a spiritual healer, and on and on and on and on and on. And so you will find people who are in organized religion who are like, just pray about it. It'll go away. You got to just pray. You got to fight that depression and come against that anxiety. Tell it to go to the pits of hell and all of that. And or just, the people who, if you just, you just say more scriptures and, you just get out my wallet. You put my medical cards back. Yes, you just do more of this and more of that, it'll go away. And that is not true. You can do spiritual things, but you also have to do it in the natural. You got to still seek help. You got to still go to the doctor. You got to still do the things that I told you about and pray as well. So use that as an addition, not as the end all to the be all. Because a lot of people you have told that they are still committed suicide. They have still gone out on. They have still have bipolar breaks. You know what I'm saying? And what do you call them? Those things, nervous breakdowns, and just different things like that. So I believe we use all of our tools. This is my practice is a holistic practice, right? Body, mind, soul, spirit, everything all together, working in conjunction with your whole self, your total self, your complete self. That's part of you, but I don't believe it is the end all to the be all. That's just my personal opinion. So you'll always get the pray away people. And I tell the pray away, stay away. If you don't have any other solutions besides that, then, I really don't do a lot of talking in terms of that. So, yeah, that was just all I wanted to say about the trauma and depression. Now, we got to still find a way, and I told you some simple ways you can use that we can move forward in the perilous times that we're in. Because bad things are not going to stop happening. They're not. Life is not going to stop. Bad things are not going to stop happening. We got to find a way to move forward. And that's why I believe right now we have to lean into community. We have to lean into one another. If you just don't worry about having 10. Don't worry about having 10 people who are with you. If you just got one who will listen, a half will listen. Even if they don't listen all the way, just, hey, I need help. What you need help with. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to lean into community. And you have to be able to depend on someone else other than yourself, because times are getting tough and no one of us can do it alone. So that's what I think that we have to do. And as far as like the artificial numbing, a lot of us are artificial. I said us, artificial numbing. And so we do a lot of things. Okay, let me give you an example of what artificial numbing can be. Coping mechanism, substances, substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, sex. That can be a coping mechanism. That can be a deflection. What was I going to say? Work. That can even be a deflection. That can be trying to fill up your voids and your vacancies. Anything that is an abuse of anything. You understand what I'm saying? Eating. That can be an abuse of what you're doing. Even the power. You might be a powerful person, a leader, and, you're abusing the people who are under your leadership. That can be a deflection of what's... Use your inside voice, baby. That can be a deflection, to avoid what's really, really going on in your life, as far as you being depressed or you being triggered a lot, or you got to deal with these things. You got to do your own soul work. I could come and I could talk to you, and, we could share this time on Sunday morning because we're here together at 41 minutes and 50 seconds in. However, what's going to happen when you get off of this video? You still got to do your own work for you. I still got to do my own work for me. And I believe if we're doing our work, if we are using practical things in life, if we are praying, if we are uniting, if we're coming together, if we're reaching for lifelines, if we're doing everything that we need to do, then we shall overcome. And it's simple as that. We don't have to give a no down and dreary thing, and we ain't never going to make it, sis, and we ain't never going to make it, bro, and that's just too bad. You're going to always be like that, and I wish it could be better for you, and all of these, dumb things, yes, dumb things that we say to each other that don't really help anybody, So I think that we need to be talking about solutions more than we ought to be talking about the problems, but we also can't be so insensitive and unsympathetic and uncompassionate to what people are going through. And even though we've gone through a lot, I've gone through a lot in my life, and sometimes it makes me, how should I say? I try to always be compassionate and empathetic, but sometimes I can be dismissive. That makes sense? Okay, I admitted it. I can be dismissive, right? I know I do that to my kids will be so, they're somewhere clapping because they swear I do it to them, which I probably do, and if they say I do, I do. You have to also be aware of how you can't change it. Right? We want to defend ourselves and we want to change it. We don't want to be the way that people see us, but we can't change the way people experience us. When that first started happening to me, I was like, it was shell shock. When my kids first started sitting me down with my children and started telling me, now everything wasn't, like I say, just because that is the truth for you don't mean it's the absolute truth. We had to work through some very, very painful places in our relationship. That's what we do, especially with girls, with daughters. It's always a painful place in the relationship, And I have 2 daughters, so it's very, very painful things that we had to walk through and we had to grow through together as a family and individually. And so when they started telling me that I wasn't the great mother that I thought that I was, I was like, I don't know who you talking to. That can't be me because I didn't see myself in that light. So I lacked awareness. I just did not see myself in that light. But I also had to understand that some of the experiences that they had, although we had them together and they were my experiences, that was how they experienced me. And I had to take accountability for that. And I'm still taking accountability for that. Now, I don't get into like the mom guilt and all of that. I'm beyond that. It's like, okay, say what you need to say, but we're not going to stay there. I repent. I'm sorry, that happened. I acknowledge your pain. I'm here to heal you. Now, how can we move forward? And that is the same thing that we have to do in moving forward in our traumas, our depressions, our mental anxieties, our mental anguish, whatever we're going on in life. We have to be first. You cannot get through any problem that you don't admit that it is a problem. You have to say that this is a problem. I acknowledge that this is a problem. This is something I'm going through. This is something I'm feeling. This is something that I'm experiencing. And if you're blessed enough to have people in your life to support you on the journey, then you can get through anything. And that is just what I believe. And I'm standing on that, period. Now, if you don't have people in your life to support you and to help you through, there are other things and people that you can reach out to. Now, if you're a person who experiences chronic illness, that might be a doctor, a nurse, a support person. It might be a counselor. It might be somebody you're in consultation with. It might be me. It might be, there are other, I would guess, things or people. It doesn't always have to be a person. That's what I'm saying, for you to be able to get the support that you need. I used to think it had to be a people, a person. And those people had to be directly in my atmosphere, my universe. And how quick I learned that it was few and far between that, really rocked out with me like that and that were going to be with me like that. So, when you are using these things, like we were talking about artificial, I call them artificial. Anything that is not the real thing, because the real thing is you dealing with what's going on inside of you and dealing with your own personal soul work. So instead of filling it with voids and vacancies, because when we're done with those voids and those vacancies and filling it with those things, what we're feeling is going to be right there. That's why it's better to do the real thing. Now, I'm not going to lie. I've used some of those things at various times, too, to help me cope. It might not have been your thing. It might not have been drugs or alcohol, whatever, but it certainly was work. I was a worker. I still am a workaholic. Now I'm getting better because I realize it ain't going nowhere. You feel me? And I'm starting to value what's really important. But there was a time where all I did was work. It was like work, 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 work. We gotta work, we gotta work, we gotta work, we gotta grind, we gotta run, we gotta run, we gotta run, we gotta run, we gotta get the bag, we gotta get the bag, we gotta get it. It was just crazy. Now that I look back at some of those times and I'm like, I don't know how I did what I did. Yeah, baby, it was crazy. It was crazy. I don't know how I lived in one place that was 2 hours from my work, my home. I drove 2 hours to church. I worked 2 hours. I went to, school 2 hours from here. This was 2 hours. I mean, I did that for years and years and years and years and years, and a lot of other crazy things in my life that you'll be hearing more about on my YouTube channel, Malika Speaks, where I'll be talking about all things Malika, whatever it is that we need to talk about: love, life, leadership, development, illness, all of the things that Malika speaks about, And so we will be over there. That's where I will really be. But I thank y'all so much for joining me. Let me see if we have any other things. Okay. Let me see if we got any other people, any other questions. I don't know why we couldn't get Aaron up today, but I just feel like that was the universe. Like, it didn't work. I'm going to try it one more time. I know it works on my phone. Let's see. Okay, Keisha says she needs both. Okay, I got you. Yeah, grind culture is dead. Yo, Keisha, listen, sis. You want to do a YouTube with me? You want to do a live with me? We could do it on Facebook and then upload it to YouTube about the grind culture. Oh my God, sis, we got to talk about that. I think that is so detrimental to our society, to our culture, to the young women today. I try to tell them, because they all about a bag. They're like, they think Miss Malika don't know nothing. I'm like, honey, I'm only a half of a century almost Almost. I'm getting there. And I'm great. And I am aging gracefully too. I gotta say. You know, your girl just that. When I tell people I'm a grandmother, they be like, "What? A grandmother? You don't look a day over." I'm not being conceited either. They be like, "You don't look a day over." Some of them say 25, but most of them say 35. Now, right here, I'm looking a little rugged because I'm in my transition state. I'm going through a transition, but once I'm through this transition, your girl will be popping out. Y'all know when Pisces hit the like around February, whatever. I think Pisces hit February 18th. When that Piscean energy hit, I'm gonna be out there. It's gonna be all she wrote. Okay, I missed a call from Nye. I can't do that on live. I have to get back to her. She'll know I'm on live. She wants to talk to Baby Shark. Anyway, y'all, again, I do not own the rights to any of the music that is played, any of the music you hear in the background, whether it's Baby Shark or Mary J. Blige in the beginning. I want to go back to that, if y'all don't mind. I want to end with that, and that song really helped me. Now, there's another song, too, that, Aaliyah, can you turn out Baby Shark, please? Anyway, I played My Life at the beginning, and the part that I like about My Life is she says, if you look at my life and see what I see, if you look into my life, if you look at my life and see what I see, and that's what I wanted you all to experience today. I hope that you could, a little piece, if you could look into my life, me, Malika, and see what I see from my perspective, and some of the things that, you know, I have to go through and deal with, and some of the things that I'm healing through on a daily basis, because I think moving forward with trauma and depression and all of these things is just that. It's not that I'm not dealing with them, it's that I'm moving forward in them. And we have to find a way. There's a variety of ways that it would be too long today, you know, to talk about some of those things. So I like that. And then my other favorite all-time movie, I'm going to leave y'all with this. My favorite movie. Let me see if you could guess it. Who could guess my favorite movie of all time? What do you think it would be? Okay, I'll give you some hints. It's a beautiful black queen who is the star. Everybody knows her. She's world-renowned. And it has a beautiful fashion storyline. Let me see if you get it. If you can get it, okay, I'll give you something. If you could get it, I'll cash app you $10. For lunch. I'm serious. I will. You got to put your cash app down. And I'm known to do this, so don't try to play me out. What is Malika's favorite movie? I'm going to give you, it's 12:14 to 12:16 while I look at some comments. While I try to get Aaron in, y'all tell me. What happened, Buka? Why can't we get Aaron in? Settings, interactivity, distribution. They got this new thing. It's like movies. Okay, Steam metrics, options, add an option, recent polls, post details, alerts, in live video, settings, no. Settings, stream, viewer. Nope. I don't know how we would get Aaron in. I still don't know. Now, I went up to her name. I hit Aaron. Share, pin, like. I think she had to request to get in. Yeah, she had to remove, suspend, limit, pin. Nope, Aaron. Or am I wrong? No. Because we did it the other day. We weren't on Instagram. I'm like, I know you could do it. Like, duh. Okay, Keisha. Yes! Keisha won. Keisha won. Keisha won. What? How about Keisha? You could either have, okay, this is another thing. I could send you the $10, or I could send you some sage when you get your bath potions. Okay, I got some ancestral sage here. Let me show it to you, Keisha, because you might want that. I think you probably saw it before on one of my things. If you look at my life and see what I see, if you look into my life, here it is, Keith. And anybody else? Yes, I got a little pouch. If y'all see my stomach. Every day, there's not one day that doesn't go by that somebody's like, "When's the baby due?" I swear, and I'm gonna talk about that. And it's very annoying, but I have to deal with it. And sometimes I'll be like, "I'm not pregnant. It's just organ failure." And so I have this swollen stomach, and because I'm not artificial, I don't wear a body magic or try to hide it because it is who I am, right? And I can't change that. It used to really bother me, especially in the terms of another thing that, let's just talk about it, make me depressed. Because I was be like, well, men are visual and nobody's going to like me, just stinking thinking. Nobody's really going to, want to be, why would some men are, and I would just tell myself this story all the time that no one will really want me anyway. He don't need to deal with all of this. And, it's too much for someone. And I was telling myself this story all the time. And it bothered me. It affects my self-confidence, my self-esteem. It's not big, but it's like, there are things like, for instance, every 8 weeks, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I have to go to the hospital, the physical hospital, and have a procedure, which is paracentesis. That's how you say it. And basically, they put a needle or tube in my stomach, and they drain out all of the fluid so that it doesn't back up and begin dumping blood into my liver. So I have to do this for the rest of my life every 8 weeks. Some days are good and some days are not. Every 4 to 8 weeks. And so that's one way that it goes down. The other way is, dialysis pulls out as much fluid as it can out of you, but there's still, it. So it hinders my relationships. Does that make sense? I'm talking about male, female. Like, I don't really go places to meet people. I don't really be out there like that. And it's like, I know men are attracted to me because, I'm an attractive lady, like if I go out or whatever, but I know that the first thing that why am I talking about this with y'all? I feel so weird. But I guess Spirit is doing it. I'm opening up. This is my first time ever talking about this live. So here's the sage too, Keish. This is my ancestral sage with fresh lavender, sticks, and roses. So if you want this, instead of the $10, this is 4 inches. This lasts a long time. Depends on how much you sage. I can send that to you too. So when I first got sick, it really affected my self-confidence. Now, if y'all know anything about chemotherapy, I had chemo. So it turned me about maybe 2, not that I'm not proud to be black and chocolate, and I've always been chocolate, but I'm like extra chocolate now. It really did a lot of discoloration to my face. Which is like, my face is like kind of different than, if you could see, than my other parts, right? It's darker, which is fine still, but it bothers me a little bit. And also, being dialysis pulls all the blood out of your body and puts it all the way back in your body, and it cycles. They say it's equivalent to running on a treadmill for 4 hours. So every other day, this is what I'm doing it, and it causes all kinds of reactions in my body. But it affects myself and my confidence and my self-esteem because I feel like I don't look the same. And I do be having those thoughts, like, let me tell y'all the truth. I would love to be in a relationship. I would love to just have companionship, somebody to just talk to, somebody. But I guess I'm not putting myself in those places, in those spaces to allow it to happen. And I don't necessarily know how to do that, and especially at this age. And then I just feel like, having to explain what I just explained to y'all is like difficult. And it is the truth. I don't care whether y'all admit it or not. Men are very visual. And so how am I going to explain? Like, the first thing they're going to be thinking is, unless they just don't know, Aaliyah, come away from, hold on, y'all. She's going to tumble down the steps. Get away from here. This is what I got to deal with now. Come get your daughter. So I be like, how? I don't know. Y'all help me. Y'all my sisters. So y'all help me. Now, probably only thing we can do, y'all, is get one of them things and tie it around. But isn't that being fake? He's going to find out. Like, that's not the real thing, right? But I feel like I'm still cute. I'm still attractive. So one of the things I had to do was I had to tell myself, stop telling yourself that same story. Stop telling yourself those lies and stop believing them, Malika. This is how I talk to myself. Stop it. And then I have to do an affirmation. I have to say, I forgive myself for thinking that I wasn't worthy of love for the way that I felt about myself. Now that is a Malika confession. That's as much as y'all gonna get today. I can't even believe I told you that much, but I'm sharing that with you. Hopefully my sisters are here to support me. Throw some yellow hearts in the building, y'all. I shared a very personable thing with y'all. It's out now, so we just gonna deal with it, right? So that's that. Let me see what my sisters are saying. Okay, back to mahogany. But anyway, I confess, y'all. Y'all say something about yourself so I can feel better. Say an area you feel flawed. But anyway, I feel flawed in that area, so it makes it hard for me. But my deepest desire is I want to meet somebody. I'm worthy. I'm a great woman. I have a lot to offer someone. I really, really do. Energetically, just, I'm not a Build-A-Bear man. I'm not going to be putting you together piece by piece, I'm not here for that. But I do believe that I have a lot to offer someone. So, and I'm cute, I'm young, I'm youthful. Like, what kind of grandmother that is like this? Okay, Erin said, okay, Keisha said she'll take the stage. I got it for you, Keisha. The live was very, very good from me. I wish I was able to speak. But you hit all of the points, especially on illness and how they alter your life. And guess what, Erin? We're going to be able to do another one. This is just, I think I was just supposed to, and now I feel better. I think it was just for me to share, to get it off my chest. Sometimes we just got to talk about it. And even though I can't see y'all, I know y'all holding the energy because I feel y'all. And so that song, My Life, that I started with, it made me feel really, really good in the beginning. And the other one was Mahogany. And y'all know the lyrics, right? Can I put it on? Can I just play y'all song? Okay. Keisha said, I'm just fat. Take it or leave it. If that were the case, Keisha, it would be fine because I feel like it's a lot of women that are, bigger and that men still, because that's what my kids be. They be like, Mom, guys like bigger girls. And I'm like, but I'm not bigger. That's what's so weird. Like, I'm 120 pounds soaking wet. It's just I got this little thing in the middle, and I hate it. I really, really, absolutely hate it. And yes, you could wear so I tend to wear bigger clothes. So I'm a small, but I will wear like extra, 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 like a 3X, just so it'll give me some room and some support in the middle. But they still be like, when's the baby due? I hate it. I be the one to say, excuse my French, y'all, just a little cussy cuss. As a matter of fact, nope, I'm not doing that. A, because I said I wasn't, and B, because I forgot it's going on YouTube. So no cussing on that. Listen, and I'm open, like, to all sizes. Like, actually, I like a man a little bigger. You know what I mean? So I don't got no problems with that. I could take a bigger man. Honey, he can, listen, I'm not going into that. But I don't have, like, the long list and all these standards and all that. He got to be emotionally generous, in touch with his feelings, and financially secure, able and stable, and not have a lot of mommy issues. Like, I'm just not doing that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not here for that. Mommy issues, that. Now, we got some things, he's going through some things. I've gone through some things we can heal, together. But he's got to know. He's definitely got to be an alpha. No betas. No betas. Got to know what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, and got a plan for us to get there. Got to have a vision and a plan, be a leader. No, that's a lie. I was going to get ready to say I can work with potential. I can't. You got to have it already in action. And, but the main thing for me is going to be somebody that's very loving and compassionate and understands my situation, because it's a lot. I live a very complex life dealing with 3 life-threatening illnesses, And I used to think, I guess this was kind of crazy, but I used to think, why meet somebody if it's my heart. I got to share it, y'all, the truth. I used to think, come close, why meet somebody? Don't cry, y'all. I used to think, if I'm going to die anyway. Yes, I did, y'all. I used to think, I'm going to not even be here. So why even meet someone, and then we'll fall in love, and then I won't even be here, and that will break his heart, and I don't want to do that to him. See, I was thinking about him. I wasn't even thinking about me. That's another way I know I wasn't loving me the way I was supposed to. I wasn't putting me first. You know, and I don't know why I'm sharing with y'all all this today, but somebody needs to hear it. Maybe you had to get all the way to 1 hour and 4 minutes because you needed to hear it. I'm getting ready to jump off because I know people's attention spans, but I needed to share that. I needed to get it out of my heart. I needed to get it out of my heart. That's what I was dealing with, y'all. And yes, it was making me very, very depressed because I was feeling down. I'm like, I know I'm cute. I know I'm, you know, I'm somebody's prize, but I just don't know how to get around that. And so, if y'all got any suggestions for me, any uncles y'all would love to put me on a blind date with, or, you know, hey, I'm here for it. Mary wrote the soundtrack for our lives. Yes, she did. All right, so back to Mahogany, and I'm leaving you with that. She said, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the way, what did she say? Do you know the way that life is throwing you, taking you? I don't know. Do you know? Let's get it. We getting ready to get it up here. Mahogany. Aaliyah. Here we go, y'all. This song, Mahogany. Let's get it. The soundtrack, Mahogany. So anyway, this is one that I love, the theme song. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the way that life is shown? Whatever. I like it. I'm going to put it up, see if y'all can hear it. I should have did it through the phone, through the computer. But it's going to give us commercials. Try to do it that way. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a beautiful day. I feel a lot better. I really do. I'm ready to get into a beautiful salad. Okay, here she go. Oh, I shouldn't have showed that. Where you going to? Do you like the way the light? She was so beautiful, wasn't she? In that music, she was just like a black beauty. She reminded me of my mother, which is why I loved it. My mother was just beautiful at that age and stage. If anybody knows my mom, you know I'm not lying. And she just reminded me of Mahogany, and I just loved it. I just loved it. And this is like my idol. You know what I mean? Diana Ross in Mahogany. Where you going to? Do you like the way the light is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? That's it. That's it, y'all. That's what I want to say. Do you know where you're going to? Do you know the way that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? I love you. Thank y'all for joining me so much. I'm going to come back and answer all the questions and interact with y'all. If you're on replay, hit replay. Noni wants to thank y'all too. Hit replay. And I'm also going to put the link to my YouTube page. So make sure you please go and subscribe so you can get all the notifications. And we're taking it to the bridge this year, no limits. I want to encourage you all, if you are dealing with any type of trauma responses, mental illness, suicidal, depression thoughts, I'm also going to put the number for the suicide hotline up here, and also my contact information so you can, Aaliyah, shh, so you can get in contact with me. I gotta go, y'all, because this is real life and the baby's out of control. Thank y'all for joining me. Yay!